Good morning, folks. Today we're going to talk about installing shade cloth on hoop houses, low tunnels, and a flat structure. So let's cover a couple of basics before we get into it. Do we put it on the inside? Do we put it on the outside? As you can see here, we have all of our shade on the outside of a hoop house. And so if we put the shade cloth on the inside, that means all of that energy is allowed to go into the hoop house unabated, then hit that, and then you have a hot spot in between shade and the top of the hoop house, which is inherently warmer anyway, and it just gets hotter and hotter. So the whole point of shade cloth is to keep that on the outside. So this is a good place to show that from hipboard to hipboard and to one end wall to the next is where we want to have the shade cloth. If we have the shade cloth down below, especially if we have a roll-up side, that may interfere with the mechanisms, especially if you have an automatic one. We saw that here recently. And so keeping it above lets a little bit of that morning heat in and a little bit of that last bit of solar gain at the end of the day. Remember, we're trying to keep the hottest part of the day and the intensity of the sun when it's its hottest out of the hoop house. And that means from hip to hip, that's gonna have you covered. I also wanna talk about the type of shade cloth that Bootstrap Farmer has. And I'm not talking about percentage or color. I'm talking about the way it's knitted together and what it's made out of. Monofilament is one long strand of a polyethylene that's woven in such a manner that it can be cut in the field, it can be trimmed, it can be cut off of a master roll at our place and shipped to you by length, which saves you money and it lets you customize that cloth. So it has an 8-year warranty and it's meant to be in the sun. It has UV inhibitors built in. It's meant to do this job. And if you noticed, on the sides we have a finished edge. The finished edge is simply doubled over and heat seamed together. On the ends, you'll notice that it has been cut at our warehouse, and again, that's totally fine. It's not going to unravel, and it's not going to unravel on you when you eventually trim that out on your location as well. So a few days ago, in this very spot, we installed the shade cloth over the top of the tunnel. It is considerably easier than putting the plastic on initially. Think about the plastic. You have to worry about getting it over all the cross connectors, all the bracing, the hoops, making sure that they're dried out because sometimes the plastic will stick to a pipe if you first start putting it on early in the morning. And so now that we have this nice smooth surface, it's much easier to take this shade cloth and just run it over with no problems whatsoever. So we threw some batten strapping over. We did the same thing that we did with a wiffle ball, but instead of on the ends, I just put it right in the middle and we pulled the shade cloth over. We tacked down the ends and the corners. We made all of our adjustments in the middle, and then we readjusted the ends and the corners before we then trimmed it out. Let's look at the 2 ways that you can install shade cloth correctly. The first option is a shade cloth clip. Now, if you notice down the length of this tunnel, we have shade cloth clips. There's 2 ways that I've seen this done. This is my preferred way. On the hinge, it creates a little pocket for a line, any kind of string or cabling, that can then be ran through what we have done, where we have the anchor points for our batten strap, both for the roll-up sides and for the greenhouse film over top. We have these eyelets, and I've run the string through there. And so multiple spots down the hoop house. This is a little bit different. I'm trying something new on this house. Normally I would have more of those and it would be just a little bit more secure. But given that we're in between these 2 structures, this is a good place to try this out. This line is secured to the hoop house. It's then secured every couple of foot to the shade cloth clips. I've also seen people poke a hole right here and use this for an anchor point. I've done that in the past, it works. But again, this is my preferred way to go. And the shade cloth clips clamp together. You'll feel them kind of tighten up. You can open them up later if you need to make an adjustment or take them off for the season. You just need a little flathead screwdriver, stick it in right at the seam, give it a twist, and it opens right up. And now let's talk about spring wire. If you notice on the other one that we just talked about, if you're wondering what we did over the top, I still use spring wire. To me, it's the better option. It's tighter. You do not have to put spring wire all over the place. On this 30-foot long, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, just a couple in the middle, 2 on the ends, and then up and over. The reason I'm not worried about all this is because wind is going to go through the monofilament, the shade cloth. It's not going to pick it up like a sail, like greenhouse plastic would. It's pretty stable. We have the shade cloth, and I want to show you. We have 1 layer of spring wire for the top, 1 layer of spring wire for the wind panel. So that's 2 layers. Drop the shade cloth in. And that's 3 layers in a single deep lock channel. It fits. Sometimes if you're having trouble, I like a dowel rod that's a 1/2 inch that I can stick in there and maybe tap with my hand or a hammer and kind of seat the bottom springs in a little bit better. That's a trick I've learned over the years. And if we want to take a look at our end wall, you can tell that we've put a piece of spring wire up there. I usually do 1 at the hip, a couple depending on how wide they are, and then sometimes I'll even put a longer piece up here. I'm not worried about wind or securing that much, but I do like a little bit of extra coverage, especially on the prevailing wind sides up top. And so for hoop houses, those are the preferred methods. The spring wire is my favorite. If you're going to do board and batten or any other kind of weird thing, that's kind of on you, but that is what I would suggest to do, especially the spring wire. At the end of the season, when it's time to take it off, go and you release everything, pull the shade cloth out, anything that you use to put that in there, put it in a nice tote so rats and mice and spiders or anything else, or in our case, chickens don't lay eggs in anything without a lid. So remember, please take the shade cloth off at the end of the season. You're getting less daylight. You need more energy to the plants depending on the crop. And if it ices over, like in our area, the shade cloth will have an ice accumulation and it adds hundreds and hundreds of pounds to the frame, which is not good for anything. Now let's look at some bad habits that I see that I want to make sure we address here on our farm. This is too much flap. I don't mind a little bit of flap, but this is too much. We put on a lot of shade last week, as you can tell, and we just haven't quite got to everything. If you notice, this is the tape that we were talking about, tape shade cloth. If you're wondering, well, why are you using this? It's because we had a lot left over and there's no sense of putting it to waste. So tape versus, this is what the monofilament looks like. Again, you can feel the quality of it. It's just a nice seam. And it also tends not to stretch out. So if I pull on this, you retain your percentage quite a bit better. But a lot of times people, they might undersize a little bit and they stretch out. And that tends to stretch out a little more, and it can take a 30% and turn it into a 20% real quick. We're now going to talk about installing shade cloth on low tunnels. This isn't really a low tunnel, it's more of an ornamental trellis, but the theory is the same. I've got some stuff I want to protect off and on throughout the day as the sun comes over. 3/4 EMT, 3/4 snap-on clamps directly on it, holds it. Whenever it's time to take that off, it's a quick take off. Same thing with the low tunnels. Let's take a look. So we're looking at 2 options. I have a 4-foot low tunnel and then I have the 6-foot low tunnels. If you can tell the difference, I had an extra piece of this very wide shade and I simply spanned both of these. They're the same family of crops. I've got onions, shallots, and garlic in here. Just a little bit of shade. This is a 30%, needs a little bit more light. And so if you've watched any of our other low tunnel videos in which we talk about frost blanket, it's kind of the same. And for you that are out there, they're like, hey, maybe that'll be good for an insect netting as well. Yeah, it'll kind of knock down things like grasshoppers, but thrips and whiteflies and any other little tiny pest, it's not secure at the bottom and the holes are too big. I really don't want you counting on this as an insect barrier. If you need that, that's a whole separate application that you can put on first and then put shade over the top of that. Snap-on clamps, if we have multiple days of cloudy days and I want more sunlight energy on here, it's a quick deployment on, a quick deployment off. But this is a nice cover right here that I don't have to worry about rain because it's going to percolate through. If this was plastic, this would hold the water and drip down. We don't have that problem here. Wind goes right through it. We have not had any problems over the last few weeks of that being up. Now, how do we do the ends? The same thing with the shade cloth, and we'll fold it over, clip it at the bottom. Again, I'm not worried about this for insect control, although I have observed 2 things this week. 1, a couple of grasshoppers not being able to get in because I haven't figured out it's open at the bottom. And then we've had to open it up and get a couple of butterflies out that's flown in and got confused. So just kind of watch that, help your pollinators out, give them a little scoop when you can. So that's the shade cloths, super easy. Of note, this is a 1/2 inch, so we did use the 1/2 inch snap-on clamps. Just make sure you match 3/4 EMT with a 3/4 snap clamp, 1/2 inch EMT with a 1/2 inch snap-on clamp. This is not meant for PVC, this is for EMT. We've built this very nice entrance arbor that is kind of the gateway into the farm. We've got some ferns and some airplane plants and things that are not typical of a market garden, but I still wanted to cover them, especially for the needs of these plants. but the loads that a flat surface is going to take a look at is different than these. So the only thing that we did was on top, we put a ring of lock channel and your spring wire for that, nothing fancy. And the same thing for this other shade structure in between the 30 and the propagation house. So this shade structure, we just basically built out of our junk pile and some extra cross connectors we had. We did throw a cattle panel up, a homesteader's best friend, and then tied it down with rebar wire. And again, we just ran a lock channel all the way around, secured the ends. This is meant to trellis up loofahs on this side, small ornamental pumpkins and gourds on the other side. Hopefully they'll meet in the middle and create even more shade. But this is mainly just for us to have a little bit of reprieve in the summertime. You can tell it barely moves. It doesn't have that same wind load. And the only thing we really need to do is kind of come and trim this out a little bit better. Just like everything else on the farm, it's constant maintenance. It's getting the job done, coming back a couple of layers and going, I wished I would have folded that up a little bit better. So we're gonna put that on our extended list of things to do. We are going to enjoy the summer under shade, and we hope you do the same. Thank you.